If you love gardening, but don't like lifting, bending, carrying heavy objects, or spending hours out in the hot sun, then this is the video for you. You're in luck. I'm the Frugal Gardener, and if I sound excited, it's because I am. This is the most excited that I've been about making a video in a very, very long time. I garden in zone 7A in West Virginia. I've been on the homestead for a little less than 2 years, and to say that I've run into some obstacles is an understatement. I have clay soil, I have deer, I have raccoon, I have all sorts of animals that are making it more difficult for me to garden. So I spent last winter coming up with not just one solution, but a solution to all my problems. And I realized that it's not just going to solve my problems, that a lot of you guys have the same issues. And so I decided to make, I don't want to call it a foolproof garden, but I decided to make a garden that is going to make it easier for baby boomers, Gen Xers, people who have trouble with mobility. And here it is. This garden is approximately 5 feet by 20 feet, and it has multiple features. This is my old shade cloth from last winter. It's going to go above here. This is also going to keep the deer out, not in its current state. This is 4 feet high, this fence here, but I'm going to add these posts over here, which are 7 feet high, and then I'm going to wrap it, the top portion, with this netting. So this netting is going to take it up to 7 feet high. You have to use your imagination a little bit. So 7 feet, and originally I was going to cover the top, but it's not a good idea because even though it will keep the birds out, it will also keep out the bees. So I need that for germination. So basically, I started with these two areas, this garden here and this raised bed here. So these two are my anchors. This is about maybe 30% of the garden, 25, 30%. This is the only part of the garden where you actually have to get down on all fours and work the garden. So the rest of this is all raised. So what I'm going to do right now is to walk you through the 20 different bushes, plants, herbs, vines that I put in here. This is ready to go, but it's not finished. That sounds contradictory. Ready to go, but not finished, because I've pretty much have everything planted out in here. But I'm going to add some bells and whistles throughout the next month. I'm going to add some things to attract the birds, to attract the bees, to help with pollination, and to just help it aesthetically. So let's start here, right with the entrance. I deliberately made the entrance narrow to deter the deer and other critters from coming in, but I added my lavender. So this lavender is great for me. I started it last year, and you can see where it's starting to bud. My goal is to eventually have over 100 lavender plants on the property, and that is a work in progress. This needs watering. These are wildflowers that I planted here. We've been having lots of rain, but didn't get any rain yesterday. So I'll take care of that later. So going inside, left to right. As I said, this is the only area where you actually have to kneel. So I've been strategic in deciding to plant things in here that you don't have to go in here a lot. I don't have to spend a lot of time in here. And these are the onions way in the back there and the elephant garlic that I planted last fall. I'll harvest that around July. We are in mid-May. Excuse me. So this whole area here, this is going to be for melons. These are going to be sugar babies. These are going to be cantaloupe. And well, here's onion here. So I didn't keep this gate closed, and something got in here and trampled on my onions. So I'm going to have to be mindful and make sure that this is not open in the future. So honeydew is also going to be planted in here, and that's going to come out around here. That's going to take care of this area here. Over here, I'm already having an issue. These are beans that I planted. These are bush beans, but I can see something's been eaten on these already. So I'm going to have to take care of that. They go all the way back to where the onions are. So again, going left to right, this is these 2 containers are 2 of the largest ones that I have. And again, in keeping with my theme, you want stuff that's off the ground. You want to be able to put a bench in here or put a little stool in here or something where you can sit and garden. So both of these are tomatoes, but these are indeterminate tomatoes, which means that once these start going, I can get tomatoes off of these pretty much all summer. This is a fig tree. It's in here because last year I had it outside the garden and the deer came and, well, I lost the 2 that I had. So this is going to stay here for the summer. Eventually, I'm going to have to put this in a more secure location outside the fence. But for now, this is where that's going to live. These are 3 of my pepper plants. So right now, they're doing well in here. I started these from seed, and they're going to end up having to be probably moved into something a little bit larger later on. These are from the potatoes that I had in the house that I didn't want to waste them, so they weren't big enough to eat. So I cut them up and planted those. Here is something that I'm very happy and very proud of, which you can see. This is my one and only apple tree. I had an apple tree at the old property. Wasn't able to bring it, but if you look real close, you'll see. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's actually starting to bud. Also needing water. I didn't water anything yet today. This is my watercress. This is another bin of potatoes. I love growing potatoes in bins because they're easier to control. This is my first container of carrots because I have another one on the other side. So carrots in containers, something I've been doing for a long time. I'm going to have to move this over because the potatoes are blocking the sun from the carrots. Here's my main bed. My second main bed. This is kind of the main feature of the garden. It wasn't meant to be that way, but it just worked out that way. All this area here is going to be the walkway. I have been feeding this, I call it grass, but feeding this to my chickens. But I'm going to pull this up. This is all going to be covered. But for now, again, this is what happens because I left the gate open. But these are Yukon Gold potatoes. I have red potatoes. I have 3 or 4 different varieties of potatoes in here. And I think this is 4 by 6. So I'm going to mound these. And these were planted a couple of weeks ago. to be exact, 4/24. I'm getting better at labeling this stuff, guys. So April the 24th, this was planted. This is my last container of potatoes. I'm growing a lot of potatoes this year because A, the prices are going up. B, I had a lot of potatoes left over, and they're versatile. So yeah, this is my container of pole beans. And again, up off the ground. You can't see how far it is from the ground. But look, everything that I'm showing you guys are within 7 steps. Here's the entrance. So you walk in here, 1, 2, 3. So either way you go, you only walk in 7 steps. You only walk in 7 steps. Over here, I didn't show this to you. This is my water barrel. This holds approximately 40 gallons of water. So you're just walking right outside the gate. I fill this from the other side with the hose. This is filled. So you're basically walking 4 or 5 steps from that into the gate, and you're watering your entire garden without having to do a lot of running back and forth. So we've covered this bed here. We've covered everything on this side here. Now we're working our way down here. These are cherry tomatoes. Now I started these inside, so I got a little bit of a head start. I cheated a little bit. I wanted a lot of cherry tomatoes, so this was my second one that I started later. These are the type that I'm growing, and they were kind of not doing a whole lot for a while. Then all of a sudden they started picking up. This So this is the reason why I normally label this stuff. I'm not sure exactly what is growing here. I thought I planted pole beans in here, but that's to be later determined. And I mentioned earlier that I planted carrots. This is a duplicate. This is the same as the carrots over here, except for these are in full sun. So I put them deliberately on this milk crate for easy access. Now we're coming down towards the end. This is my second. Well, here you go. Here's one. So these are my cantaloupes. This is a weed. This is a cantaloupe. I'm going to pull that out and we'll be fine. Last but not least, this was my old Gatorade jug given to me by my previous neighbor, Miss Nancy. And I'm planting eucalyptus because outside of this garden, I'm planting a small herb garden, and the eucalyptus is going to be a big part of that. So if you count the varieties of tomatoes that I'm growing, if you count the types of tomatoes that I'm growing, if you count the fruit trees that I have, I'm over 20. Now, keep in mind, if you guys want to set something up like this, it's not that difficult. It took me a while because I did it by myself. But if you have help, I mean, you can do this in a day. And you can plant. I mean, you may not want to plant everything that I'm planting here. You may not want to plant potatoes. This can be used for a variety of things. And keep in mind, I hope you guys subscribe and stick with me, because even though the planting is done, this transformation is far from over. I am going to do some things that in the next couple of weeks, this garden is going to be unrecognizable. I'm going to turn this into an environment where I bring in uh, uh, those little teeny hummingbirds. Couldn't think of the name. I'm going to bring in hummingbirds. I'm going to bring in the bees. I have to bring that in through colors. I have to bring that in through flowers. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to put a couple of wildflower plants that I'm growing. I didn't show them. I didn't bring those in because they're not giving me any flowers yet. But this is going to be colorful. This is going to be inviting. This is going to be a place that I'm going to be hanging out in a lot this summer. And I hope you'll come back and see the progress that I'm making, especially once everything starts coming up, once everything starts growing. So right now, I don't like holding you guys, but this is what I have been working on. This is what I'm excited about. This is what is going to give me and my family a lot of food this summer. It's going to help with our grocery bills. And I still have a few other areas that I'm working on, but this is my pride and joy. This is my project. This was my big reveal. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe because there's some strange things that are going to be going on in addition to just my regular gardening. So thanks again. I'll catch you guys in a few days on the next video. And remember, when you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. This is The Frugal Gardener. You guys have a great day.